Happy Saturday!
Happy Saturday, everybody. Up, choo-choo.
Yeah. Christina.
Vera.
From Soul's Enlightenment. And today, Vera and I are really excited. We are going to be talking about a protection technique. Mm-hmm. Last week we talked about, or a couple weeks back we talked about psychic attack. Yeah, psychic attack. Yeah. And so that is why we need this. We need tools to protect ourselves. And we're going to start with the most powerful of them all, which is
Azna.
And that is Mother God.
Mother God.
So for those of you who might not know about her, it's basically she's the divine feminine. So, you know, we have Father God, who is pure intellect, and he holds everything stationary. And we have Mother God, who is the feminine side of God, the feminine principle of the divine.
The interceptor. She can move around. She has the energy. Not that he doesn't have energy. It's just he holds us.
He holds everything. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, Mother God has been revered throughout our world's history from ancient times, you know, throughout every culture. She's been known by many names like Athena or Kuan Yin, you know, several, you know, throughout this world. But the name that she has on the other side is Azna. And I wanted to tell an interesting note real quick is that Angus, through Vera, because he's on the other side, he actually just refers to her simply as
Mother.
As Mother, exactly. Because, you know, it's kind of like how our mom has a name, which her name is Azna, but when we're talking to her, we don't say, like, I wouldn't say Mary, you know, I call her Mom.
Mother Mary.
So, yeah, so for our human being minds to know, her name is Azna, but over there we just all call her Mother. So that was kind of neat when he told us about that. But anyway, so the times that we would want to call on Azna, because that's how we would utilize her protection, is when we're going through like
something really horrific or something that gripping fear. Yeah, things like that. Despair. You feel like you're in a desert period, you know, like you're just nothing's changing, nothing's moving. You can ask her to come to help. Yeah,
and we had a really good example of that because we talked about in the last video of psychic attack, we talked about my mother had experienced the growl, and that would be a situation where if that was happening to you, you could call on Azna. But I want to give you a really good example of that. My brother, we lived up in the Redwood Forest in Santa Cruz here in California. And one night he was in his bed. This is like a really kind of scary sounding story. But he was in bed and he heard something get onto the roof. And it was like thump and then thump. Like it was something that was walking and pulling. It was walking across the roof. And then it went down in the wall right behind him, and the growl, he heard this deep growl. Well, of course, it totally freaked him out, and it was like a gripping fear, and he couldn't get the words out because he wanted to say...
He was like paralyzed.
Yeah, he was paralyzed. Yeah. And he wanted to get out that word. He wanted to say Azna because he wanted to call on her to come to him to protect him. But finally he got it out, and he said Azna 3 times, and then he felt released from that gripping fear. Because Azna has a golden sword that cuts through negativity, cuts through darkness that comes to us in like waves of darkness, like that kind of a fear, because of the negative planet that we're on.
Exactly.
You know,
and it could be also, and I just thought of this, and I think I've mentioned it before, but it could also be if you're like in dire pain, or something that, you know, you can call on her too. Of course, we want to call on our angels, but if it's something that's like, you know, really dire. And my grandson, he was maybe 5, and he was climbing a tree. I think I've told you this before. And he fell.
Oh, yeah.
He fell, and he was, he's really thin, and he fell on his tailbone. I mean, I thought he broke his pelvis or something. I mean, it was bad. And the first thing out of his mouth was, Azna.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I mean, I never, you know, he had heard me talking about it and all that.
Oh,
that was the first thing out of his mouth. So how close children are to still knowing about things from the other side. Yeah. And then he was fine. I mean, it knocked the wind out of him, but he was able to say at first, and then he was able to scream Azna.
My God.
And then he said, he goes, I'm fine now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just thought of it.
That is like,
So
just
it's not just fear or anything, but it's something that, that's fear too, right?
Yeah,
because he was scared about what had happened, falling out of the tree or whatever. Oh my
gosh. And Vera just brought up a really good point, is that we pray to Azna because she's the great interceptor to create miracles in our life.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And so she kind of, she's represented, like, say, in Catholicism, because I grew up with Catholicism as the Blessed Mother, and that's where people pray to her for miracles. So it's like she's throughout the different,
like
religions.
Lourdes. She was in Lourdes.
Yes, exactly.
Lady
She's
of
manifested. Yeah, exactly. And Vera and I were just talking about how she is also, she's mentioned in the ancient texts.
Right.
Like in Genesis of the Bible, where they said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness.
Yeah.
Our.
Yeah, exactly.
Masculine and feminine. So, anyway.
And I interrupted you because tell them about how your brother.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah.
How he called on her.
Yeah, he called on her 3 times, and then he felt not only released from that, because dark entities from their realm, from the dark side, so to speak, because we don't believe in like demons per se with little tails and all that, but they can't physically attack you in the night, but the fear, they can
scare.
Exactly, and that was a good way a scare technique is a good example. So he wasn't gripped by them. It was just the fear, I guess you would say. But then once he got that out, he was mad. It was like almost like he felt empowered, I guess, or not afraid.
Well, empowered.
And he was going around the house, get the hell out of my house, because he's like he did like a UFC style fighter, so I think he would have rather than manifested so he could beat him up. He was mad. Release that. Exactly. But it's a great way, because I learned from him. In the middle of the night when I've woken up from really scary dreams or feelings or things that I feel like I'm experiencing or what have you, or negativity, I say her name, and I like to say it 3 times. You don't have to, but it's like I like the Trinity.
That's what I like.
Yeah. So I'd say, and then also I have the holy water on my bedside stand that I'll bless myself, and I'll bless my bed if I'm really kind of freaked out, sprinkle it around. So
and you can bless your own water.
Yes, you can make your own holy water.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can go over that again, on another time. But anyway, so we're excited to share that with you today, and there's always more. So there'll be more coming. But this is a good technique that you can use to help yourself when you're going through.
And why not go to the top?
Exactly.
Just get it done right.
Yeah, because when you call on her, boom, she is immediately there. She moves. People have described her as moving with lightning speed.
Oh, and you said that some have seen her as tall as a redwood.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. Some people have seen her, a lot of people, because she's so tall. Of course, and she can appear to us how, Vera?
I forgot.
Any which way.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Because Vera was pointing out to me.
Yeah.
She was saying, but she's not like blonde all the time.
Yeah. It's however you feel comfortable with her.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you picture her as dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin, that's what she is. She's whatever you need at the time.
Exactly. And that's, all those people's visions of Azna is the whole reason I want to do so many different goddesses, is to portray her. But she can be, she's been seen as tall as a redwood tree.
And you said something about a cloud?
Yeah, a cloud, a wave of darkness, whenever.
How she
like
moves
she's
in.
been, she moves with lightning speed with her sword when that wave or big force of darkness is coming toward us.
Right.
Walls of fear and so forth. So it shows you just how fast she is there.
Yeah.
So don't forget.
Exactly.
Call on
Use
her.
it. Use her.
So we will see you next Saturday here at Souls Enlightenment, where the heart and soul connect.
Yay!